your top 3 issues and why?
My top 3 issues are the local economy, local infrastructure, and safety and health. The economy needs to be diversified. We're moving toward the 22nd century. We're moving toward things that in 1990 we didn't even dream would be possible. Technology has advanced, job market has changed, and we need to start training our soldiers and those residents that live here on a daily basis for this new economy, the technology economy, the green economy. I like to always tell folks I'm a fan of cars. I got a car with a big old V8 engine that sucks premium gas. But I know that more than likely this will be the last car that I own that's strictly gasoline based. There's going to be new skills required to be able to maintain those cars. And we need to start refocusing our education system and start attracting those type businesses to the local area. Secondly, infrastructure. A great city deserves great infrastructure. Our roads, bridges, water, sewer, all of those things have to be maintained and updated. We have a number of areas in the city that consistently suffer from breakages and so forth. Businesses are not looking to be in places that the infrastructure can't support them. So we have to look at our budget and we have to find ways to be creative to be able to maintain our infrastructure. Citizens deserve good roads and good sidewalks in every corner of the city. And we hope that, through prudent financial introspection, we can look at these things and find ways to service the citizens better and businesses. And third, safety and health. The lifeblood of every community is safety and health. No person, no business wants to be anywhere where they don't feel safe and it's not a healthy environment. Police and fire are really a part of the lifeblood of your community. Your home is your single biggest investment. And when you don't have those 2 elements to protect it and protect you, that element, that value of that home is going to depreciate. So we need to support our services. And when we say services, yes, police, fire, but all city services, because, solid waste is every bit as important when it comes to maintaining a neighborhood as those other services. We do have some budgetary challenges, but I think by recruiting a different economic platform and looking at how to make better use of the resources we have, we can truly do some things that we have not yet done.
Name one goal you want to accomplish within your first year.
During my first year, I really want to see infrastructure upgraded. I want to concentrate on, the northern half of town that has suffered a bit. We cannot grow, consistently as a city, leaving any part of the city behind. Downtown is a very clean area, and there's been a lot of work put into there. And I want to see that continue to grow. If we continue to reshape the external appearance of what downtown is, I believe that we can draw a different kind of business down there. It can become a destination where there are restaurants, and we can have that weekend place that, so many of our residents leave and go to Austin or Dallas or somewhere on weekends. I think that we can turn our downtown into that. So if we continue to put money into our infrastructure, especially in that section of town, not to negate any other portion, but, that needs a little bit of attention. So I'd like to see after my first year that we've, continued to work on the infrastructure downtown and started to attract new enterprise.
2 grocery stores have closed in North Killeen in the past year. Do you see this as a big issue? What do you plan to do about it?
The grocery store closings are a big issue. When I first moved here 17 years ago, I lived on the north side. And in fact, not too far away from that IGA. My neighbors on my street at that time were all 70s and 80-year-olds, and some of them are still there. I've got one in particular who's very keen on driving around in, his neighborhood. But for most of us, running over, to Tremere is not a big deal. But for him, it is, because he'd always shopped at that IGA on the corner because it's less than a mile away from his home. When we take away, the stores from an area, we create hardship for people. It is not the city council's job to specifically go out and recruit businesses. However, the city council is the legislative body more or less for your city. We are the voice of the people. And when the people don't have what they need, it is the job of the city council to be somewhat involved. So I would hope, if I'm selected to be on council, that we can work with economic development and push a little bit harder to find the right mix of what it's going to take to bring someone over to that area of town. Not to mention, new and younger populations are not going to want to live where they don't have convenient services. So it's also important to have that there to, again, attract younger families to that area, thereby maintaining your housing value, housing stock, and maintaining the liveliness of those communities.
What should Killeen do to lower crime?
Crime can be lowered by increasing economic activity. Much of the crime, that's committed is of a younger demographic. And when we can't offer sustainable employment to young people, they are going to look for ways to get things. Unfortunately, that oftentimes leads to crime. Sometimes crime occurs because we don't have enough things that are productive for young people to do. And what we can do as a whole is, again, going back to my platform, diversify our economy. Look at reaching out to our young people in a different way from a city perspective, offering them opportunities to be involved with things that are productive, that leads them to where they would see themselves, to help them form their visions of who they are going to be and who are they going to be to their city as well.
Last year, the Killeen City Council voted against impact fees to developers when they build a new house or other structure. Was that the right move, and what would you have done differently, and why?
Well, there's a lot of research that went into that behind the scenes. There are a lot of documents as citizens we did not get the opportunity to see. What we did see as citizens was, we know that there's a budget shortfall, and anything that we can do to help alleviate that shortfall should be considered. There were several weeks that citizens were allowed to speak either for or against the impact fees. The citizens overwhelmingly spoke in favor of the impact fees. Without being privy to the documentation that was provided to council, I can't necessarily say they did not make a prudent decision. However, as a council person, we are servants of the people. We are the voice of the people. And the people's voice spoke in favor of those impact fees. If I were on council and I had voted against those impact fees, I would owe my constituents a very solid answer as to why I did not vote the way that they had chosen to direct me.